Thousands of voices broke into one single cry in unison as BTS's Jin stepped foot on the Newark stage. But it wasn't just the sound that resonated. That night, the entire room was vibrated by one thing bigger than just a concert or a celebrity performance: the boundless, overflowing love of ARMY. In the history of BTS's tours and performances, never before has a collective surge of emotion been seen of this magnitude, which carved the night into a permanent record in the public memory. What exactly happened in Newark, and why did the genie become the center of one of the most touching moments of her career? No one could predict how the atmosphere would develop when the genie appeared surprisingly on stage. In a simple but elegant white dress, she not only presented herself as an idol, she was present as a symbol of strength, longing, and warmth that her fans had been waiting for so long. The soldiers who attended that night, coming from various countries and even across continents, did not just welcome a pop star. They welcomed a friend, a brother, a hero who returned from his hiatus with complete sincerity. What made this night different was not just Jin's presence, but how ARMY made the stadium a space of collective emotional celebration. The giant banner read "Welcome Home, Jin," hanging around every corner. Purple balloons, the pride color of BTS, decorate the sky of the room. Some fans were seen crying happily, while others sang the song "Epiphany," as if they wanted to reply to every lyric Jin had ever sung with their own sincerity. Jin, who has always been known for his calmness and sense of humor, that night looked different. He was silent for a moment on the stage, staring at the thousands of faces that looked back at him with tears of emotion. In a short but profound speech, he said, "I didn't expect to be welcomed like this. It feels like home, but it's more than that. It's like being embraced by the world." The genie's words became not just a news quote. He became a symbol of the unbreakable emotional attachment between the artist and fans. It is not simply accepting love, but being a reflection of love itself. There was no separation between the stage and the stands that night. The Jin stood as part of the ARMY, and the ARMY became part of the Jin. Jin's presence also sparked discussion on social media and the global K-pop community about the importance of an emotional safe space for South Korean idols. Jin's return to the stage after his enlistment not only marks the rise of an individual career, but also proof that ARMY is not just a fan-base name. They are a community that supports, embraces, and revives the spirit of its artists. HYB himself admitted that he did not expect the amount of public enthusiasm. In a statement, the agency said support at Newark exceeded production expectations. Even some of the concert crew admitted that they witnessed unusual scenes that night. Many of them called the atmosphere of the concert pure love and human energy that cannot be explained by the logic of ordinary musical production. In addition, the peak of surprise occurred when thousands of ARMY in unison lifted their phones and displayed a screen that read, "We missed you, Jin," in a prearranged time through the coordination of the online community. The genie, who realized this, fell silent again, her eyes looking teary. He then said, "Have you prepared all this for me? You guys are amazing. I don't deserve any of this, but I promise to keep it in my heart forever." The emotions that were channeled that night were not only the result of a physical encounter after a long wait, but rather of a long emotional journey between Jin and his fans. During his military service, Jin remained active on social media and community platforms, showing that he was always thinking of his fans. The moment in Newark seemed to be the answer to all the prayers, support, and hope that had been stored. This phenomenon is also the subject of deeper reflection for the public. To what extent does fan love affect the mental well-being of an artist? In the midst of a harsh and stressful entertainment industry, the presence of a community like ARMY has become a bastion of emotional protection. Jin not only felt that love that night, he was saved by that love. Newark has been witness of an evening in which one name, Genie, is sung not because of its popularity, but because of the emotional connection it has built slowly, honestly, and consistently. It's proof that artists and their fans can create deeper relationships than just content and concerts. They build a sense of belonging. When the concert was over, the stadium was not immediately quiet. Many fans still held onto their seats, as if reluctant to let go of the moment. Some of them were seen hugging, sharing tears, and filming the Newark sky that night that felt different. Jin is back. But more than that, the ARMY has again found their home, which had been empty for so long, by the temporary departure of the star. And those of you reading this may be wondering what exactly makes a night in Newark so monumental? The answer is in every cheer, every tear, and every smile painted by one name, the genie. For those of you who want to continue watching historical moments like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here, you'll find exclusive coverage of BTS, Jin, and ARMY movements around the world. Your one click will bring you closer to the most sincere love story between the artists, but behind the incredible excitement that enveloped Newark that night, a sharper and deeper question began to surface. Was what we saw really pure, or was it in fabrication wrapped in an emotional narrative in order to create massive attention in the global media? There is no denying that the power of ARMY as a digital community has gone beyond the limits of ordinary fans. They are not mere consumers of content. They are producers of reality itself. But in this context, how real is reality? Was the seemingly spontaneous and heartwarming welcome in Newark a truly organic outpouring of love? Or had it been orchestrated through a large-scale marketing strategy by a global entertainment agency like HITV? It should be underlined. Most of the footage and narratives spread in cyberspace about Genie's night in Newark do not come from conventional media that undergo a rigorous news verification process. Instead, the majority of information is constructed through platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, X, and YouTube, with short pieces of video often influenced by emotional framing, dramatic music, and narratives shaped by the fans themselves. Are we looking at reality? Or are we being led to believe a carefully curated version? Let's reflect further. Amid the euphoria of the night, several pieces of video showed Jin, who appeared to be crying while greeting his fans. But is it true that he was crying out of fear? Or is the expression part of a symbolic game between artist and audience, deliberately left ambiguous to increase emotional power? Is the crying driven by fatigue, stress, or solely due to camera and lighting settings that create a certain perception? These questions are not meant to cast doubt on Jin's sincerity as a person. Quite the contrary, this question is intended to invite all of us, viewers, readers, and fans, not to lose our vigilance in the face of a flood of information packaged in such a way as to feel authentic. Because often, what appears to be the most honest moment is precisely part of the most structured planning. Was that night a pure form of appreciation from the ARMY to Jin? Or is part of that response also fueled by a social impulse, when fans feel they have to show love in order not to fall behind in the flow of the community? How much role do social pressures and media algorithms play in shaping the public's perception that Newark Night is a moment worth celebrating, even if one doesn't actually feel like it? This is where the importance of a healthy skepticism in addressing these kinds of events. We're not saying that the whole Newark moment was a lie, but are we willing to admit that the scattered narrative could have been the product of a media construct, not a whole reality? Can we accept that between reality and perception, there is a vast gray space, and that is where the entertainment industry often comes into play? We also need to ask, why is this event so viral? Is it because of its emotional value, or because it has been designed to go viral? There are plenty of clips of fans crying, hugging each other, and chanting "We missed you, Jin" in unison, but there are rarely any sources that can verify whether the action was truly spontaneous or the result of organized international fan-base coordination. In other words, did the emotion arise because of momentum Or, because of the scenario, let's explore further. Who benefits from this narrative? Of course, Jin and BTS personally get tremendous attention. However, agencies like HYB also make huge profits not just in the form of reputation, but also in the value of shares, sponsorship, and continued fan loyalty. In an era when emotional narratives can be capitalized into commercial products, we are obliged to ask, is that overflowing love really free from economic influence? The night in Newark was supposed to be a space of contemplation, not mere consumption of emotions. Are we as an army, or even just observers, critical enough in assessing what we watch and feel? Or are we allowing our emotions to blind us to the complex process of narrative formation? Truth, in the world of modern entertainment, is no longer a matter of mere fact. It has become a field of attraction between sensations, perceptions, and interests. Therefore, we invite you all to stay critical, keep asking questions, and never accept a viral moment just because it feels heartwarming. Do you believe that Jin cries because of sincere emotions, or because of the demands of the stage? Was ARMY's reaction that night a reflection of the individual, or the result of community social pressure? Have you ever questioned the authenticity of the widespread narrative about BTS and its members on social media? Do you think media like TikTok and Twitter are completely reliable sources of information? Remember, a great narrative always has many facets. What you see is not always what really happens. We live in an era when images can be engineered, emotions can be reproduced, and facts can be twisted for particular interests. And because of that, we are here not only to tell stories, but also invite you to think deeper. We remind that the information we present in this article comes from various pieces of social media and fan reports, which still need to be further verified. We're not asking you to believe it absolutely. We're asking you not to believe it absolutely, because only with a healthy skepticism can we really find the meaning behind the moment. And perhaps that's where we can find a more honest truth, away from the stage lights and the cheers of the audience. Thank you for reading to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't get left behind in in-depth discussions like this. Let's continue to think critically, share opinions, and maintain information sanity in this noise-filled era.